Boom. You're watching The Political Vigilante. My name is Graham Elwood. Great way to support the show is to go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood, where you can submit articles like this one that I got from Eric Husso. Eric, I so apologize for misspelling your name. What happens, I don't, autocorrect changes your name from Husso to House or something, and I don't notice it. I'm sorry. It's just me. I apologize, but I appreciate you supporting the show, and I will continue to misspell your name. So this article that was sent, and this is, you get to do this if you're a Patreon supporter at the $5 level. U.S. Special Forces Command issues new guide for overthrowing foreign governments. Now, this was in Zero Hedge, but what it is in referencing is this actual report. Support to Resistance, Strategic Purpose and Effectiveness by the Joint Chief of Military Gun War. What this does, and in reading in the Zero Hedge article, they point out, and I'll show you this, Newsweek is the only mainstream media outlet that said this. And what Newsweek uses this, Zero Hedge took, this is the, and I'll show it to you in a sec, this is the headline that Newsweek used. But again, Newsweek, just on their website, okay, good, that's nice reporting. Did anyone pick it up? Did Chris Hayes or Wolf Blitzer, anybody like that, pick it up? Rachel Maddow? No, they didn't. Here's what's in it. Chapter 1, support to resistance as a tool of disruption. Support to resistance as a tool of coercion. Support to resistance to enable regime change. Gee, does that sound like Venezuela? No. Guaido he's a real leader. It's crazy. They just flat out, this is how they're just making a manual now. The study examines 47 instances of U.S. Special Forces trying to intervene in various countries from 1941 to 2003. Back then it was called OSS, which later became the CIA. This special edition is given to the Cold War, but it doesn't include coups which lacked legitimate resistance movements, such as the case of Operation Ajax in 1953, which overthrew Iran's democratically elected Prime Minister, Mossadegh. Iran's got a lot of oil, but I'm sure that has nothing to do with it. It's got nothing to do with it. Stop your purity tests, you lefty crybabies. One thing common to all 47 cases reviewed in this study is the fact that the targeted state was ruled either by an unfriendly occupying force or by a repressive authoritarian regime. How repressive was it? In some cases, sure, it was a repressive regime, but why did we need to interfere? There's repressive regimes all over the place. When we were shooting water cannons at people at Standing Rock, did another government say we got to intervene, there's a humanitarian crisis? 30,000 people die every year because of the lack of health care in this country? Are we going to go stop the Saudis from what they're doing in Yemen? Oh, no, that's right. We refuel their planes and they use our rockets that they buy from us to kill children and stuff in Yemen. So we can't stop that one because, hey, there's money to be made. Army Special Forces veteran Will Irwin wrote, the study focuses on historical regime change operations, but in parts hints at the future, saying Russia and China have boldly demonstrated expansionist tendencies. They say in their little manual, well, we got to go to, that's saying, Russia and China, we need to start wars with Russia and China. This is insane. But this is what you get. This is what you get when you let psychopaths like this. Where is it? Where is this? When you get psychopaths like this, Johnny Bolton, our boy Johnny Bolton. Let's open that up a touch. So this is what you get when you let John Bolton run your White House.
This week, Iran marks the 40th anniversary of the Islamic Revolution. And what a 40 years it's been, tyrannizing its own people and terrorizing the world. Iran continues to seek nuclear weapons to intimidate peaceful people all around the globe and ballistic missiles to use as delivery systems. Iran, under the Ayatollahs, remains the central banker of international terrorism, and its conventional military forces are all over the Middle East, in Yemen, Iraq, and Syria. Perhaps worst of all, the people of Iran have suffered grievously. Right now, unemployment is at record levels.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there, John. I know you just got back from a Mark Twain cosplay. 2 questions here, Johnny. One, if it's so bad for the Iranian people, do you think a war, us bombing the shit out of them, and do you think it's going to make the Iranian people, the civilians, do you think that's going to make their life better? No, it's not. No, it's not going to do that. It is not going to do that. I'll show you why it's not going to do that. Real quick. Here's this. This is from, these are refugees, internationally displaced people in millions, all the wars, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iraq, Syria. 12, almost 20 million people have been displaced. So John Bolton, he wants to add that to Iran. He wants to add Iran to that list. Right? He talks about the 40-year awful, the 40-year marks the 40-year anniversary. So why was there an Islamic thing? Oh, right. In the 50s, we put the Shah of Iran in charge, and he was a brutal dictator that helped create Islamic fundamentalists. The Ayatollah was a young man when the Shah when we helped put him in power through Operation Ajax. As we just said. This guy. Unreal, listening to John Bolton run his yap. Let's listen to more lies. And also, we have 40 million people living in poverty in this country. We have people suffering severe medical damage from contaminated water in Flint, Michigan. Is anybody, is another foreign power wanting to come in and invade because we're treating our own citizens this way? There's people living in third world conditions here in America. There's tent cities in every major city that I've visited in the last 10 years.
Inflation is at all-time highs. The Iranian currency has gone through the floor. So, Ayatollah Khamenei, for all your boasts, for all your threats to the life of the American president, you are responsible for terrorizing your own people and terrorizing the world as a whole.
No, John, that's you. The United States. The United States has done that. The United States is responsible for that. That's who's responsible. John Bolton. That's who's responsible. Unbelievable. We're ramping up for war in Iran. That's what they want. That's crazy John Bolton. And they just have a manual. They have a manual telling you how they want to do it. And there's John Bolton just saying it. It's in the manual. John Bolton does it on TV. Everybody believes it. Oh, I guess Iran's bad. We've been told they were. I was told they were bad when I was a little kid. I'm not saying the Ayatollah was great. I'm not saying their current leaders are great or nice people. But how did this happen? In 1954, a democratically elected leader, Mossadegh, wanted to nationalize the oil, give it to the Iranian people. And maybe that guy was corrupt. Maybe the election was rigged. It wasn't that democratic. But he wouldn't play ball with us and the UK. He wouldn't give the UK and the United States his oil. So we overthrew him and put in a brutal dictator that tortured his own people. The Shah of Iran tortured his own people, and we backed him. If the Ayatollah was giving us his oil, this wouldn't be happening. Thanks for supporting the show. Other ways to do it, man, rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. You can also go to grahamelwood.com for all the tour dates. We're coming to the East Coast, June 12th through the 19th. DC, Baltimore, Philly, New Haven, Connecticut, New York City, and Boston. Go to grahamelwood.com. Thank you for watching the show. Thank you for getting your news here and not from the liars on the corporate media. You're all making Gotham great again.